So, Acho, what's the main issue for the Cowboys, players or coaches?
God, this is tough still, but the operative word here is main. And the main issue is coaching. Greg, I'm going to tell you again, you better fix your face, Greg.
Wow.
You better fix your face.
Wow.
The operative word here is main, and the main issue is coaching. Marcellus, if you have a collection of talented individuals, but a collection of mistakes, I say that it is coaching. If you have a collection of talented individuals, but individual mistakes, then I would say that it is the player or the players. Right now, you got a collection of talent, but everybody's making mistakes, similar mistakes. To me, that's on the coach, bro. These aren't individual mistakes. Okay. It's not standalone. Only Marcellus Wiley's making a mistake. Sale's making mistakes. Acho making mistakes. Everybody for the Cowboys making mistakes, which tells me it's coming from the top. The other thing I will tell y'all is what my coach told me.
What did he say?
A 4.40 is just a fast mistake if you don't know what you're doing. The Cowboys got players making the fastest mistakes I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
It's coaching. Players, they got to take some responsibility. Players, to a degree, have been bad. Yes, there have been some injuries, but you can't sit here and tell me when you look at the Cowboys and you see repeat offenders, that to me says is coaching.
Wow. To me, that was a horrible take. And I'm not talking about you as a professional. I'm just talking about you and your opinion right there, because this one is not that tough. It's on the players. Acho even had a segment where he said the players are cashing in and checking out. Now, that's the same guy who now wants to blame the coaching staff, but let's talk about it.
Segment was 5 weeks ago.
Because to me, this is so obvious. It's the players. Let me give it to you like this. This was an offense that was scoring, 40 points, 38 points, 31 points, 37 points, and they lose one player. One player. And all of a sudden, that same offense only scored 10 points and 3 points. Is that the coaching? Or is it the fact that they just lost that one dynamic player? It is on the players. But, Acho wants us to believe that, somehow schematically the players are not put in the right position or they're not told and reinforced the proper way to play football. Really? So it's on coach to tell Jalen Smith, hey, it'd be nice if you didn't walk on a play and actually ran to the sidelines. Yeah, it's on a coach, Acho, but it's on his Pop Warner coach. It's on his coach from yesteryear. It's not on Mike McCarthy. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, there we go. Oh, hey, Zeke, can you stop fumbling every time you touch the damn football? What is Zeke going to say? Hey, that's on you, coach. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jason Garrett, he used to clap for us all the time, not just before the play, but after the play, because he used to tell us not to fumble, hold the elbow up high. It's not on coaching. It's on these players to take the coaching on the field between the white lines and execute. Acho, enough with the excuses.
Gregory. Oh, my God.
See, I had to, it's Halloween, so I had to dress up for a minute and become Lombardi. So, Acho, I want to explain something to you.
Please.
So last year, this Dallas Cowboy team, were they struggling? And what changed this year? They changed the coaching. So you addressed the coaching, right? So now, after addressing one issue, it's time to investigate the other.
Oh.
What is the other? The other are the pieces that we have when we're talking about personnel. Now we address the coaching, so you can't keep making that excuse because Jason Garrett was the problem. Remember? Recall that? Okay, yes, you do. So now you get this guy in Mike McCarthy, and all of a sudden he's inherited a team that has no established culture, that is not the identity that he really wants to establish. You have to give that time to be developed and created, because what time will render you eventually, if given time, is one of these, and one of these. Okay, Acho, so I want to bring this back to your remembrance, because it wasn't just one-sided. It wasn't just that Mike McCarthy did his job and the players didn't do their job. It was a collaborative effort. And once you find out who your coach is going to be, now you have to give the coaching the pieces that they desire, not the pieces that were already there all the time. It takes time to sift through. Are some of the guys bought in solely or wholeheartedly? I don't believe so. Sometimes you have a sense of entitlement. You know what? It's Mike's job to identify that and reel that in so that he can accomplish what he set out to do.
Wow. Jennings. 2 box, please, me and Greg.
Oh, why y'all kicking me out when I'm having fun?
I got to talk to his heart. Greg, I can tell what kind of guy you are.
Uh-oh.
See, in 2020, Greg, men that lack substance, they have to overcompensate with shiny objects and shiny
Oh, because you ain't got none.
Men that lack substance, oh, let me buy you this car. Oh, let me buy you this necklace. See, you're going to distract the audience from the fact that your argument lacks total and utter substance by trying to distract them with a shiny object. Hopefully, my audience ain't no gold digger. Hopefully, my audience don't get distracted by the toys and they can focus on the personality and the substance, because I'm about to hit you with some substance. We can go 3 box. I can tolerate Marcellus for the
Oh,
time
really?
being.
Hey, you're getting a little too comfortable with that
Look,
2-box
bro.
stuff, too, cuz.
Hey, chill,
Just
chill,
let you know over here.
chill, okay? Look, last year, bro, the Dallas Cowboys, they were, 9th in total defense. They're currently 27th. They were 11th in scoring defense. They're currently last. They were 11th in rush defense. They're currently last. Gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
The Cowboys did not lose a whole bunch of players on defense. They didn't lose any All-Pros, didn't lose any Pro Bowlers, didn't lose any stars. But they got significantly worse.
Byron Jones.
What changed? They added a terrible coach. Not just McCarthy, Greg. Not just your beloved Mike McCarthy, who got you a ring, and so you're forever infatuated with him. By the way, you can return rings. I've seen that happen before in previous relationships that have gone south.
Dude.
So, Pete, I'm going to hit y'all with substance.
Please do.
The Cowboys changed their coach, and they actually got worse. They want Jason Garrett back, Greg Jennings. I never thought I'd hear the day. Cowboys fans on social media, Cowboys fans online, Cowboys fans on television, please bring us back Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was 8-8. The Cowboys miraculously got worse without him, but I'm going to give it to you like this before I end my first lap. Mike McCarthy's last 22 games in Green Bay, 7-14-1. He leaves. Get out of here, Mike McCarthy. Bring in Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur's last 22 games in Green Bay, 18-4. I mean, come on, Acho. Give McCarthy some time. Okay. Let's talk about the Cowboys defensive coordinator. Mike Nolan, Cowboys defensive coordinator. Last time he was a defensive coordinator, Atlanta Falcons, they ranked 32nd. Oh, my God. Fired Mike Nolan. Next season, the Atlanta Falcons jumped up to the 16th. Cut that performance in half. So I'm going to tell y'all, Greg, get over your bias, put away the shiny objects. Marcellus, do your homework. It has to do with the coaching, gentlemen. Boy, stop.
So I'll address the shiny objects first. The shiny objects are not sold separately. They actually come with the body of work. So with my body of work, you get all of me. And this is all of me. So I'm sorry that you haven't accomplished that. However, let's address the issue at hand. When you look at Mike McCarthy, yes, he is the head coach. So it does fall on his shoulders. Did he hire a coordinator defensively that has not gotten the job done? Absolutely, you're 100% correct. It's up to him to address that. When a coordinator has the talent or not the talent that's needed or the personnel that's needed, I need you to either fix the problem before you are the problem. And he has not fixed the problem in a matter of 6-7 games. So now you're turning into the problem because you failed to address it. That is on Mike McCarthy to address. However, when you have players, and we all have experienced this, where you see the talent level on paper is up through the roof, but it's all about how you perform collectively. And if guys don't buy in, I don't care how much talent you got. If I don't agree, if I'm talking behind your back, if I can't say what I need to say to your face because I want to anonymously talk behind your back, that is already problematic. That is player driven. That is not coach driven. You are a grown man. I need you to face me like a grown man and treat me as such. Players want to be respected and treated as grown men. Well, come to me as a man and tell me the issue that you have. The issue that I have is with Mike Nolan. Defensively, this team has been poor. All your stats aligned were defensive stats. They fall on Mike McCarthy because he's the head coach, but he has to make a decision when it comes to the defensive coordinator.
You keep talking about these grown men. I don't know very many grown men that have sleepovers while auditioning for a job, but maybe I'm just not grown. Maybe I'm just not grown enough. Since Mike McCarthy, he's grown, and the Cowboys players ain't grown. He out here having sleepovers and onesies with Jerry Jones. Okay, go ahead.
Let me say something about this whole grown man talk. Remember, one of my favorite episodes on a show, Survivor's Remorse, LeBron James show, is when the player was talking to the owner. He was like, "Hey, man, don't be talking to me like that. I'm a grown-ass man." And the owner looked at him and said, "You know who doesn't say they're grown-ass men? A grown-ass man." So stop talking about that. Anyway, here we go. The real issue. Let me not be a character on television like Acho. Let's be a real person that speaks really to this situation. There are two issues here at play for real. The offensive line and their 10th offensive line combination, look, it's going up in flames right now, and the game is won in the trenches. Let's just be real. This is not fun analysis. This is going to be the time where you actually learn. And also what Greg was talking about, the culture. Now, Mike McCarthy came in there because he has a Super Bowl championship and he's a winning coach, a damn good coach. And he comes in there and he realizes quickly that this culture needs to be redefined. And the only way you can redefine a culture is if, A, you have everyone on board trying to buy into that new culture, or B, because you have some issues, you have to now extract those individuals from that culture and start to change with a different course. So we're seeing that in terms of the trade deadline and guys now not on the roster that were previously on the roster. Acho, I must correct you. You talk about Mike Nolan and his defense all the time, like they didn't lose a ton on defense. They lost 6 key contributors, 4 defensive starters, including a guy by the name of Byron Jones, who is a beast. I digress. Let's talk about what this Cowboy situation really is going forward. It's really something that you can learn from last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I keep telling you guys, last year, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a losing team, despite having some bright spots here and there, was a 7-9 bunch that started off 2-4, I remind you. And like Greg was saying, if you have patience with Mike McCarthy, the same Mike McCarthy who took a 4-12 bunch to 8-8, 13-3, and then a Super Bowl championship in a couple years. Tampa Bay last year, 7-9, 2-4 start. Where are they now? If you can build that culture. Now, Tampa Bay took the easy route. They just hired the greatest cultural enforcer in NFL history in Tom Brady. So Tom Brady brings that different culture and takes a losing team to a winning team. And it's not just a losing team, y'all. Tampa Bay was, what do they have? The worst win-loss percentage in all of major sports. And then in 1 year, we're looking at them as Super Bowl contenders right now. All of that said, give Mike McCarthy the time to extract those guys who are an issue to his winning culture and watch the dividends pay forward next year.
Marcellus, I've never met.
If not this year.
I've never met what I believe to be your lovely better half, but she must have incredible patience to deal with these terrible takes.
Nah, she gets mad at me.
Because these takes that you spew take so much patience for me to tolerate. Greg Marcellus, can you please admit, please, for the love of all mankind, Mike McCarthy, without his Hall of Fame quarterbacks, is not Mike McCarthy. He is, what is he, 8-16-1 without Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Without his Hall of Fame quarterbacks, 8-16-1. Only 17 coaches in the history of NFL are that bad. No. Belichick is like a 48% winner.
He's still a losing coach.
Already looked it up.
He's a losing coach.
But he's not nearly in the bottom
5 of his first 6 seasons were losing seasons.
Bottom 17 is Mike McCarthy without Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You start telling the Buccaneers, well, the next year it got better.
It did. They got
the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep.
When the Bucs were still rocking with a backup quarterback, if that's what we want to go with, because Jameis Winston's not currently a starter in the NFL. When the Buccaneers were playing a backup quarterback, they finished 7-9. Yep. So the Cowboys playing backup quarterbacks. No. If you want to sell the Cowboys a dream, then sell them the same dream. I expect the Cowboys to finish 7-9.
Big dog.
Greg, I need you to admit.
Tampa switch quarterbacks just like Dallas will next year.
McCarthy, without Hall of Fame quarterbacks, is just not a good head coach.
Not buying it.
Here ends the lesson.
Not buying it. Here ends the lesson.
I'm not going to admit to that. Let me tell you something. It wasn't my job to look at who was on the roster. It was my job to add to what was on the roster. And so what I mean by that is when Mike McCarthy took this job, he identified what was on the roster, and he felt like, you know what, I can work with this. I can work with the Dak Prescott. I'm excited to work with the Dak Prescott. All the other things we will have to figure out. And this is a figure-it-out season for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Yes, did we have high expectations? We did, and we should, because this is America's team, remember? And there is no automatic losing season or record for the Dallas Cowboys when you start the season. When you're the Dallas Cowboys, because the expectations are get one of these again. And so when you hire Mike McCarthy, he understands what he's getting himself into. He also understands that, you know what, this may take more time than what people are willing to give it. Like yourself, Acho, you expect miracles to happen overnight. When you're cooking a cake, if you take it out a little too early, it ain't going to be the same as if you patiently wait for what is going to render yourself a salivating tongue and tasteful desire that is quenched.
Salivating. Look at that. Dallas, I know the sky's falling, Acho, on where you're from. Only 2 wins. Oh, the division-leading Philadelphia Eagles. Only 2 wins. Hey, Dallas, make some hay this year, and next year we know it's going to be great once Dak comes back.